And hi again, I'm Dylan Black. It's Tuesday. We've got Daytime Ottawa on your TV, Rogers Television to be exact. You know, January is a time when many people make resolutions about healthier eating, right? Unfortunately, here in Ottawa, it's also one of the coldest months of the year, and that can send us reaching for comfort foods that might not always be the healthiest, but she's here to help us out with that. She's a recipe developer. She's the host of Paula Roy's Favorite Foods right here on Rogers TV, and she's a food editor as well at Ottawa at Home magazine. Paula Roy, hello.
Hello.
Wow, it takes me a long time just to list off your credentials.
Well, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but thank you for going through them all.
Amazing thing. We talk about Paula Roy's Favorite Foods, Rogers TV, at various times throughout the week. I see you on there.
That's right. There's about 24 episodes that are in reruns right now, and I get amazing feedback from people. They stop me in the grocery store or on the street. Hey, I made your whatever. Or my son, one woman, my son's begging me to make your recipes. And I was like, oh, how old is he? 4.
Wow.
So it's very exciting.
That's something.
Yeah.
Winter's treating you well?
Winter is treating me well. It's a good season for cooking. Of course, every season is a good season for cooking in my world. I sure do.
What is it about comfort food then?
I think at this time of year, we're hibernating, sort of like the bears, right? So we're cocooned at home. Maybe we're not as active, or maybe we're really active if we're into winter sports, and you're just reaching for the food that makes you feel good. And so for some people, that's hearty stews and things like that. But for other people, it can be not so good indulgences like hamburgers, chips in front of the TV,
yes.
Whatever. So I set myself a challenge this January to try and eat a lot more vegetarian and vegan meals. I do eat them regularly, but pretty much exclusively through January, and I feel great.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a neat experiment, and I published quite a few new recipes on my website, Constantly Cooking. So if anyone wants to jump on the vegan or vegetarian bandwagon, there's some help there for them.
That's good. Although one of the foods that's coming up here in moments, it does have the word pizza in it. So that's that makes me happy. But before we get to pizza, let's talk about snacking foods.
So that's a challenge, certainly in my family. I try not to keep chips in the house all the time, same with cookies, but you know, you are settling in for a longer night of TV watching maybe because it gets dark earlier, and so hour 2, hour 3, you go and maybe get a beer or a glass of wine, maybe the chip bag. So I'm really trying to break that cycle with my own family, looking for things that are still crunchy and satisfying and feel like a treat, but are a little bit healthier.
Okay, so what exactly is
so
healthy
we have
then?
Over here these beautiful spicy crackers. So they're whole wheat saltines, and they've been drizzled with a mixture of dry ranch dressing, which is the packet that's there, along with some garlic powder, some hot red pepper flakes, canola oil, and then they're baked again to make them crispy. So if you wanted to have a little mouse bite in a corner there.
A mouse bite? Have you met me? Okay.
Well, I wanted so you could talk in the next 5 minutes, but just really light and healthy, and again, whole wheat. So I'm not an advocate for fooling your children with food, except it's okay to offer something healthy and just not tell them exactly what it is.
That's right. It does have spice to it.
Yeah, and you can up the spice. These hail from Alabama. They're called firecrackers down there because they put about a tablespoon of hot red pepper flakes on them. I dialed it back to a teaspoon because I find Canadian palates don't always gravitate to that level of heat.
It's actually quite spicy, Paula. That won't stop me for eating another one.
So quick and easy spicy crackers, and that's on my website, Constantly Cooking, if anyone's looking for the recipe. And just something you can put in the kids' lunch boxes as well. Put some in a container and take it to work if you get that mid-afternoon slump at your desk and you want to crunch on something.
Like you said, it does still have that texture, that crunchy.
That's right.
That replaces potato chips.
That's
perhaps.
right, yeah.
All right, pizza, muffins.
I love pizza. I have, first to admit it, I love pizza. I would have pizza like every other day. And it's not that unhealthy if you don't overload it with cheese. We make pizza at home, so it's good. But I was thinking about pizza in lunch boxes. My kids used to take cold pizza to school, and I thought, can make it more portable. So a savory muffin format instead. So whole wheat flour, white flour, cheese on the inside along with pepperoni, green pepper, mushroom, and then the topping is the pizza sauce and cheese. And they look to me so inviting. They look like pizza. You can eat them at room temperature. If you have access to a microwave at work, you can just give them a little quick trip to heat up. I've even put them in a preheated thermos, put them warm in a preheated thermos, put the lid on, and a couple hours later they're still warm.
That's an idea.
So for families that are running from the hockey rink to the ski hill to dance lessons to swim practice, you need these portable options.
Amazing. I even heard the pizza actually is good for breakfast because there's vegetables in it. There's cheese. There's
stuff like that. All the food groups are kind of covered. So again, please do.
Okay.
So again, the whole wheat flour, it balances it out, makes it kind of healthy. They're so quick and easy to make, and you can make a huge batch. This recipe, again, on my website, Constantly Cooking, makes 18, and they freeze just beautifully.
Smells like pizza.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, and
Pizza
super
muffins.
fun for kids that, again, breakfast, a lot of teens in particular, it's hard to get them to eat breakfast. Their brains and their bodies aren't even awake enough yet to realize that they're hungry. So I would send them out the door with one of these to eat on the way to school or recess or whatever.
Perfect. A couple of minutes left, and you're asking me for help on this.
Oh, yes.
It's a vegan Caesar salad.
Right.
Okay.
So again, I mentioned about my quest to try and eat more vegan and vegetarian meals. So I thought, okay, I love a Caesar salad. What do I love about Caesar salad? Well, I love the bacon bits, and I love just mountains of parmesan on it. So let's just switch that up. So we've used kale instead of romaine, and that's partly because of the lettuce recalls we're having.
Looks so
and
fresh, too.
what I did was put the dressing on at home and literally massaged it in with my hands, and the kale's been chopped up. And that tenderizes it, and that's why it looks so bright green, and it's not so chewy. And then we're going to add the toppings. So we have coconut bacon bits.
Coconut bacon bits.
I encourage you to try one before you pour it on there.
I will give this actually a quick try.
It's amazing. It's shards of coconut you can buy at most health food stores with a bunch of seasonings
like bacon.
and baked. I know, it's so good.
Okay, I'll
And
put
looks
them all
like
in.
bacon. Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
and then we've got,
here.
instead of croutons, which I get disappointed if I don't get a crouton in every bite. I'm just one of those people. So we've got toasted panko, Japanese breadcrumbs instead. So now you get better distribution, and then the crowning touch is vegan Parmesan cheese, and it's cashews and nutritional yeast.
Okay, then I'd mix it up,
together.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and you can put a little in your bowl there and give it a little taste. And it's one of those dishes that it's satisfying, but it feels healthy at the same time.
I didn't give it much of a mix.
That doesn't matter. My family cannot get enough of this salad. It's just so good.
Oh, and there's no difference at all, in my opinion, from what you'd normally think a Caesar salad should taste like.
Yeah, but it's just so much healthier. And again, an option if you're having people over and you're not sure about their dietary preferences, here's a great thing to have on the table, and everyone can enjoy it.
Need to get more of those bacon bits in. Look at that. Okay. As I wrap up this segment with a mouthful of food, constantlycooking.com for more recipe ideas. Thank you very much, Paula Roy.
Thank you.
More daytime coming up. This is Rogers TV.